Welcome back. Get your popcorn ready because we have a preview of all of the best summer blockbusters set to hit the big screen this season.
We're joined by Ray Barker from the North Park Theater, who is playing the role of our resident film critic today. We're going to be going over a bunch of movies, starting with a few that come out tomorrow. We are covering every genre, so there's definitely something for you and for your family.
And we're starting off with one that we were just talking about in the dish, Maleficent, starring Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Maleficent is expected to be a huge hit for Disney this weekend. It's going to open up in about 4,000 theaters. And it's a reimagining of the classic villain character from Sleeping Beauty. The original Sleeping Beauty came out in 1959, and the villainess in that movie is pretty one-sided. They wanted to humanize her this time around and show that she's a wronged woman, and a man has treated her with cruelty, and that's the reason why she's out for Sleeping Beauty.
And she actually had her children on set when she was filming, but she was worried that she would scare her own kids.
Yes, she's wearing amazing prosthetic makeup done by a makeup expert named Rick Baker, who's worked on a lot of different sci-fi projects. She actually wore a prosthetic nose, teeth, cheekbones, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rick Baker is around at Oscar time collecting an Oscar for Best Makeup.
No relation, right? Same last name?
No relation. I'm a Barker. He's a Baker.
Oh, Barker, that's right.
All right, so you're going to have to get the tissues out for our next one. We're talking about The Fault in Our Stars. This is a little bit more of an emotional film starring Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort, who just played brother and sister in the recent hit Divergent. What do we know about this one?
This is a real old-fashioned tearjerker. This one is going to make you cry. It's based on a best-selling novel that was on the New York Times bestseller list for 119 weeks, clearly connected with a lot of teens. And it's a story about a woman, Hazel, who's played by Shailene Woodley. And she's had thyroid cancer, and the cancer has spread to her lungs. It's a terminal diagnosis, and she is going to die, so she's coming to grips with her own mortality. And she's in a cancer support group, and Ansel Elgort, who's actually the son of a famous Vogue fashion photographer, starts to romance her. She resists him at first, and then she kind of falls for him, and they fall in love. And it's about how to make the most of your life with the time that you've got. It's also very unsentimental. It's very modern in that way. It's not a kind of old-fashioned, preachy movie at all. It's kind of very honest about the relationship.
All right, classic summer blockbuster is next. We have an action movie, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, this is being described as kind of Groundhog Day meets Starship Troopers, where Tom Cruise plays a Lieutenant Colonel Cage, who is trying to help the Earth fight off alien invasion. And he ends up in the same day over and over and over again, and he has to kind of figure out the best way to defeat the aliens. Co-starring Emily Blunt, who's a great actress.
It might be a little jarring of a tradition to go from that one to our next movie pick, but we are covering every single genre, so we wanted to slip in a nod to our musical theater lovers out there with the new movie musical Jersey Boy, based on the story of Frankie Valli and the Broadway show.
Yes, this is a very successful Broadway production. It won a Tony Award, and the Tonys are coming up for this year. It's been on Broadway for 8 years. And Clint Eastwood is actually directing this movie and bringing it to the silver screen. It's a story about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and it's kind of introduced a whole new generation to his music. You know, Talk Like a Man, and Sherry, and Christopher Walken, who's always kind of wonderful on screen, plays a mobster. So you want to see it for Christopher Walken alone.
And oh, go ahead.
I have to say, I don't get often to brag about the school I went to, but the Tony-winning production, someone from my school actually was in that original Broadway cast, so this one is going to be very exciting for me to see.
And the gentleman who played Frankie Valli, originated the role on Broadway, is going to be in the movie as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful when you have crossovers between Tony winners and the silver screen.
All right, very interesting. Heading over to 4th of July, the big movie that's opening that weekend stars Melissa McCarthy. It's called Tammy.
Yeah, you know, raunchy comedies are summer box office gold. We've seen the success of films like The Hangover. This is actually co-written by McCarthy. She plays a character who's been wronged. Her husband has cheated on her. She's lost her job, and she goes on a road trip with her grandmother, played by Susan Sarandon. It's raunchy, it's in your face, and we're kind of tracking to see this if she can catch the box office gold of a film like The Heat.
And we want to squeeze in one last one. My script says to see what your kids will be loving in the theaters, but I have to disregard that because this is something I'm so excited for, and this is How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one too. The original How to Train Your Dragon made $500 million worldwide. It was a huge hit for DreamWorks Productions. And this time around, our hero Hiccup is set to become the chief of the tribe of Berk. And there's a lot of kind of boy and dragon bonding in this. The relationship between the Vikings and dragons has gotten a lot better. And there's dragon races, and dragons are friends of some of the Vikings, but they occasionally set things on fire, so they have to put the fires out. It has just debuted at the Cannes Film Festival, and the reviews have been terrific. They say it's braver than Brave and more fun than Frozen.
And you'll be having an event for that. We don't have a lot of time, so if you could just talk about that really quick.
Yeah, at the North Park Theater, Father's Day weekend, same weekend that the second sequel debuts, we're going to show the original How to Train Your Dragon. So that's part of our special children's summer series, which we're going to have Saturday and Sunday at about 11:30 in the morning. So bring your kids to see the original and then go see the sequel.
All right, that's all happening at the North Park Theater at the heart of Hurdle Avenue. Ray Barker, thanks so much for coming in this morning. Very
Thank you so
knowledgeable as
much.
always. Can't wait to hit the movies this summer.